And now, what about the moon? I have heard statements and cross statements. The Hubble cannot look at the moon, they claim.
When we began this investigation, if you want to move this, before we get to the moon, let me finish up one more thing on Mars.
All right, sure.
This coming year, 1996, in the summer of 96, we're all going to try again. 2 unmanned missions will depart under NASA control. One called Mars Surveyor, and the other called Mars Pathfinder. Mars Surveyor is basically a repeat, a rerun of half of the Mars Observer mission. It carries half of the instruments that Mars Observer carried, but it does carry the camera, the same camera, with the same limitations, the same policy, no live pictures, and it will be placed in orbit around Mars, and we're going to go through this whole song and dance again about not seeing Mars, all right, on live TV.
Do you expect the same reaction?
If they lose it again, I'm hoping that people will get more than a tad suspicious. But my feeling is that events are going to come at a very fast pace, and the politics that will happen when this thing finally gets to orbit will be very different.
Well, what I mean is, as you obviously try to pressure them to go back and look at Cydonia, do you expect the same no thank you?
Oh, yeah, of course. I don't see any change unless we can get political intervention from the Hill, either Newt Gingrich or the president, and frankly, I'm not going to hold my breath. As my grandmother used to say, when that pancake stands on end, I'll believe it. You would have loved my grandmother. Anyway, the other mission, which is going to leave this coming summer, a year from now,
right,
is called Mars Pathfinder. Now, that is more interesting because that's going to land. That is going to actually land as a test of a much more complicated scenario in a couple, 3 years of Mars exploration. A mini rover, a 22-pound solar-powered robot with little wheels, designed to trundle down the ramp from its landing spacecraft and move out across the sands of Mars and send back TV. Now, we, of course, would like it to land at Cydonia, right?
Naturally.
To land near the city, near the face, near the pyramids, and boy, the American people deserve that. Would that that would be the acid test, right? And since the NASA scientists and engineers involved agree that 90% of the mission is engineering, that is testing whether the robot will even work, you can land it anywhere. You don't have to land it at the place they've chosen. You could land it at Cydonia, and it still would be a valid test of the engineering, of getting it down, of trundling it out of the spacecraft, etc.
All right, well, let me guess, Richard. They don't want to land at Cydonia.
Nope.